Good morning and welcome to River Rock's Daily Devotionals. My name is Renee, and today we'll be going across 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 18 through 20. These verses have to do with submission to masters. And today we would tend to think that it no longer applies to us, that this is an antiquated verse. However, I certainly say it is not. I say that it has everything to do with today, and that the Lord calls us to submit to masters for His will. And we all know that His will is all good. You could think of a master being anyone of authority or who you've given authority to. For instance, who we've given authority to could be a landlord, a credit agent, contractual agreement of some sort, any person who you've given authority over you for whatever it be, maybe an agreement or something of the sort. Also at work, we have people who are authorities over us, bosses, directors, CEOs, business owners, captain, lieutenant, sergeant, head chef, wherever it is, we all have some sort of authority over us. Even those who don't work, who may be retired or live out on their own in the bush, we still have the authority of a judge or a police officer. And so here in these verses, the Lord calls us to be submissive to our masters. So I'll go ahead and read this. Servants, be submissive to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the harsh. For this is commendable, if because of consciousness toward God one endures grief, suffering wrongfully. You know, a lot of times we look at authority over us as evil, and we are fighting against evil, so we want to go against them. And so the Lord calls us to think differently, and to not give in to that ideal. For what credit is it when you are beaten for your faults, you take it patiently? But if you do good and suffer, if you take it patiently, then this is commendable before God. So this is basically saying, if we do something for our wrong, if we are at fault, and we take punishment because of it, what good does that do? We did wrong, we deserve our punishment. It's as simple as that. But if we're taking punishment for something we haven't done, if we're enduring that punishment to show good and to show the strength of the Lord, it's commendable to Him. You know, our treatment toward who we would consider our enemy is addressed through Christ in Luke chapter 6, 32 through 34. And here Christ says, "But if you love those who love you, what credit is it to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is it to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those whom you hope to receive back, what credit is it to you? For even sinners lend to sinners and receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return. And your return will be great. And you will be the sons of the Most High, for He is kind to the unthankful and to the evil." And this is what the Lord Christ has to say about those who we see as evil above us. But who are we submitting to? We're submitting ourselves to the Lord and His will, and we would consider ourselves bondservants at that point, because we give ourselves over to Him in trust and faith in Him. And that's also addressed somewhere we can look, Ephesians 6, 5 through 8, where Paul addresses bondservants and masters. Bondservants, be obedient to those who are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in sincerity of heart, as to Christ, not with eye service as men pleasers, but as bondservants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men. So, brothers and sisters, we're called to be bondservants in Christ, and we're called to do His will, and we're called to suffer for Him, and through doing His will, and through showing that we will do what He wants us to do. And it's my prayer that we all do so, and that we're able to do so happily, to suffer for Christ. Thank you so much for following us today. And if you do like, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.